Alright, so last night I got my third ascendancy point, and then I respec the tree a little bit because I wanted to try out using element expression but with 100% or about 100% melee critical hit. And so I redid the tree a bit, went and picked up just more crit instead. So we grabbed the crit nodes here, we also did grab this for some crit damage bonus, and then we dropped basically the nodes here. We also dropped the energy nodes because we're not doing anything energy related right now, or we're not really trying to. We're just want to see how elemental expression worked. And those are really all the changes to the passive tree. So after that, we're sitting at, let's see, so first of all, I went for a really low level Ice Strike, so as low as I could go, just because the Ice Strike before this was causing it to take up too much mana. So I properly leveled Ice Strike, which is, it had a way higher mana cost. So this is 13, and I think the other one was something like I don't want to say 200, maybe say 100 something mana, and that was draining my mana a lot. And all we really need Ice Strike for is to crit, and that's about it. So I dropped it, and now we have a much lower mana cost. And so you can see we're sitting at 91% crit chance on this, and they crits almost every hit, as you saw in the little gameplay video. And so the problem is though that this is really, the elemental expression skill kind of sucks. Is the problem. It doesn't really do a lot of damage. You can see we're mainly shooting out arcing bolt and icy waves, just because we mainly have dex and intelligence, and we have little to no strength. There's not a lot of stuff that you can socket into this. So the few sockets that I did do were the Rising Tempest, because we are having one of each element. A Fiery Explosion does, weirdly enough, proc decently often. Even without that though, we're doing, it's 24% more elemental damage, because we are doing Arcing Bolt and Icy Wave fairly regularly. Then we have Considered Casting for 40% more damage with spell hits, and then we have a 300 Mana Flare as well. On crit hits, it doesn't have a high crit chance. It's 52%, 40%, but it's there. The spell is used often, so I'm hoping it actually hits often. I can't really tell how often it's hitting, but it's there. Now, so back to the problem again, is just doesn't do a whole lot of damage that I had expected. This comet does more damage. Okay, this comet, it's 1,000 to 1514 with nothing socketed into it, and this is 2,500 right now. So hold on. Actually, let me see. Can I see the raw numbers? Okay, yeah. So the raw numbers, we're doing 102 to 576, 241 to 362. And the comet here is doing 1,000 to 1514. Now, after buffs, and then we don't have a lot of buffs right now, remember, it's 6,400, and this is sitting at 2,583. And elemental expression procs way more often than comet, but it doesn't feel very impactful. Just using elemental expression, whenever the comet falls, it feels like it does quite a bit more damage. There's just more base damage to scale off of. So all these spell damages that aren't shown right now, like 40% increased here, another 45% increase here, they're all going off a higher base on the comet versus elemental expression. So this was just something I want to try out. I wanted to sort of record what it looked like, so I don't do it again in the future because it kind of sucks. Or maybe there's a better way of doing it that I just haven't sort of looked into as much as I should be looking into. One thing I did want to mention, so this is what I found to be a pretty cool interaction. If you look at elemental expression right here, you see it's level 29. So it's level 17, and seeing plus 12 from somewhere. When I saw this, I was very confused. I don't have a much bigger like a plus 12 from really anywhere. But there's this cool interaction here, or I don't know if it's unintended or if it's supposed to be. It feels unintended, and I'll tell you why in a sec. But the interaction is basically coming from here. So +4 to level of all elemental skills. Apparently, it hits 3 times on this skill, one for each element, I guess. So we're getting +12. Now, if this was corrupted for +5, we'd be at +15 instead of +12. So this would be level 32. Now, I thought that if I was like, oh, cool, so it's like triple dipping because it's actually 3 different skills in one, right? It's Fiery Explosion, Arcing Bolt, and Icy Wave. Maybe that's why it's triple dipping. So if I get +1 to all spell skills, maybe it'll triple dip as well, or +1 to all skills will triple dip. Something. But that wasn't the case. That doesn't work for whatever reason. I bought a bunch of different plus skills. I tried them. They all just do, what they say, +1 or +2 or +3 based off the actual number on the item. Whereas this, for some reason, instead of +4, it's +12. I don't even know if this interaction is supposed to happen. But even with this interaction, it still kind of sucks. It doesn't do a lot of damage. And, maybe that's because of how I've built this. I have built mainly into critical hit and it's melee crit hit. So not a lot of that transfers over to elemental expression. I haven't built much into crit damage or the crit damage bonuses yet. This could be that as well. But right now, the previous iterations of this build felt better than this one. So I'm going to just basically, luckily I recorded this video, so I'm just going to go back to one of them and copy the build and sort of repeat it. But with this extra 2 ascendancy points I have here, which I'll probably just lean into, I guess, cast on freeze for now and go I am the Blizzard. Or maybe we will try I am the Thunder. But what I'll be doing is just grabbing this back, putting points into here or here, and then I will also be. I did find when I was looking up all this sort of the tags on this skill that you can get a corrupted implicit that's like 20 to 30% more meta skill energy. So I might do that, just to speed things along and get those gems coming out, or the cast on freeze or cast on shock or whatever I choose to do to come out even faster. We should be able to run, I don't know, like 2 or 3 cast on freezes. We'll see. But that's it, really. I mean, I might just take a break from this character and go play the other Invoker Monk. I'm sort of getting tired of messing around with all these gems and trying out all the different combinations and seeing all the ways it doesn't work. Yeah, that's really it for now.